Tonight, we're going to learn a special shiur, L'chaved, 9 days in Tisha B'Av, and we'll see what we'll be able to gather in the time frame that we have. The fascinating Gemara at the end of Masechtas Makkos. The Bavusta Gemara, actually the Gemara has two brises there, and I would like to go to the second, maybe we'll get afterwards to the first. Shteti Gemara Azeh. Vekvar hoyo Rabban Gamliel v'Rabi Elazar ben Azariah v'Rabi Shiur v'Rabi Akiva mehalchim b'derech. The Gemara first case is V'shomu amoino shel Roimi. We will go to the second case immediately. Shuv pam achas hoyu oilim liYerushalayim. One time, these four Tanoim, Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Shiur, and Rabbi Akiva, are going up to Yerushalayim. Kevon shehigiu lehar Tzofim. They came to Har Tzofim, Mount Scopus, and Mechune. Koru bigdeim. They ripped kriya. We know these halacha, misha leiro, misha, somebody wasn't there for 30 days. Haroye orei Yehuda v'Yerushalayim b'churbanon has a din that he must rip kriya, or kriya of avelis. Now, I just want to give you the proper time frame. This story happens approximately a year and a half after the Churban. This story happens. This is the Tanoim who lives in the Tkufa of the Churban. This is Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai v'Talmidov. They've seen the Beis Hamikdash, and they've been there through the destruction. This is Mamesh, when Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai made a deal with Aspasianu, Stanley Yavne v'Chachamim, and he moves out of Yerushalayim to Yavne, and they are taking a spatzir, and they come into Har Tzofim, which is an elevated mountain on top, and they see Har Tzofim, they see the Har Habayis. Kivon shehigiu lehar Habayis. So the kriya was a chiyuv kriya in the time that you see the first time the Churban. They're going up, they see Mount Scopus, as is tzbrochen, as is da Churban, they ripped up the cloth. Kivon shehigiu lehar Habayis, ro'u shuol shoyoytzem beis Kodesh haKodoshim. They see a shuol, they see a fox coming out of the base Kodesh haKodoshim. Ischilu heim boichim v'Rabbi Akiva mesachik. A very, very fascinating phenomena. Rabbi Gamliel, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Rabbi Shiur, they see, umibrecht ein in Trerem, they start crying. When Rabbi Akiva lacht, Rabbi Akiva is mesachik. Omru loi, Akiva mipnei ma'ato mesachik. Omar lohem mipnei ma'atem boichim. It's a very strange dialogue. As soon as they see him laughing, they say, Rabbi Akiva, vos lachste? This is a machazeh, which is theoretically, everybody understands. We saw the Beis Hamikdash tif'artoi, and now we see a shuol yoytze. This is a place to cry. It's not a place to laugh. Omar lohem mipnei ma'atem boichim. Why are you crying? Omru loi. Mokum shekosu b'vazor ha'korev yumos achshov niskayim bo al hartzion sheshomeim shuolim hilchu boi v'lei nivke. There's a place in Kodesh haKodoshim which the Kohen Gadol himself can come once a year to go in lifnai v'lifnim v'chol odom lo yeh teises shonim in Yuma brings down afilu eila shenema b'pneiim pnei odom. Even malachim are not allowed to walk into Kodesh haKodoshim. And now, Segeita Roisa Fax, a shul is yoytze, v'loi nivke, and we should not cry. Omar lohem lekach ani mesachik. For the very same reason that you're crying, I'm laughing. Why? Dichsiv ve'oido li eidim ne'emonim es Uriyo HaKoyen ve'Zachariyo ben Yevarachyo. וכי מה עניין אוריו אצל זכריו V'alo Uriah b'mikdash rishon u'Zechariah b'mikdash sheni. Let me give you a little background information. One of the Nevi'im, which was Nisnabe in the Tkufa of Bais Rishon, was Uriah. He was Nisnabe in Kiryas Yeorim. He was a Novi Emes. And he was saying similar nevuos to Yirmiyahu Novi. Whoever was there at the time did not want to listen to the nevuah, and they said they're going to go kill him. He ran, he escaped to Mitzrayim, and El Noson ben Achboir went to bring him back. They brought him back, and Lamai says they killed him. Afterwards, in Yirmiyahu, he's repeating, they said, we have a precedent. Uriah was Shingren Azan Novi, he said the same Avla as Yirmiyahu was coming to say nevuos HaChurban. We have already a precedent. Yoakim, he took care of him. He sent someone. We have to kill Yirmiyahu. And Yirmiyahu Taka ran away to Mitzrayim, and he died in Mitzrayim. They brought him back to Yisroel, but he died in Mitzrayim. Yeshayahu Hanovi zokt a posuk, a very fascinating posuk. Ve'oido li eidim ne'emonim. I have two eidim. Es Uriah HaKohen, which is that Uriah HaKohen, the Novi Emes, ve'Zechariah ben Revachio. Zechariah Novi. We know the three Nevi'im which are called Nevi'im Achroinim in the whole Sefer Trios is Chagai, Zechariah, and Malachi. So those are the two Nevi'im. I have two Eidim. Chob HaGodah says a tziruf of two Eidim. Uriah and Zechariah. For the Mora Akash is Rabi Akiva, what kind of Zushtel Nemen Tzvei Eidim, Uriah and Zechariah? They are 400 years apart. How do you take these two people and make him a combination of Eidim? Uriah b'mikdash rishon v'Zechariah b'mikdash sheni elo ktolo akosuf nevuosoi shel Zechariah b'nevuosoi shel Uriah. Be'Uriah ksiv lochein biglal chemtzion sodot tichoresh b'Yerushalayim iye tiye v'arabayin al bomusya. The nevuah of Uriah was the nevuah in the Churban. It says Harabayis will be b'bomusya. Yerushalayim is going to become rubble. The whole thing iye tiye. Sion Sodat Techoresh. Mora says one of the things that Yiru in Chamishos above the Mishnah in Tiny says that Yerushalayim was Nechresho. Later, much later, many years, they came in with tractors. They came in to put rubble. Shouldn't be a stone on a stone. That's Tam Churban. So Gornish Bleib. So he says this is the nevuos HaChurban. Zechariah Ksiv, Zechariah is saying the nevuah lost Lovei. Oid Yeshu Zakenim Zakenas Birichovis Yerushalayim, and Oid Yisachaku Yelodim veYelodos Birichovis Yerushalayim. It's not only a nigan; it's a posuk in Zechariah. Ad Shalei Niskaim Nevuos Shel Uriah, or Isim Siyorei Shemal Niskaim Nevuos Shel Zechariah. Achshav Sheniskaim Nevuos Shel Uriah, BeYodua Shenevuos Shel Zechariah Miskayemes. So long that I don't see the shul yaitz in the base Kodesh haKodoshim halatziyah sheshomim shuolim milchuboy or yisimi siore. I had a pachad, I had a certain fear that perhaps the nevuah of Zechariah that in future the zayin as shein od yeshu zakenim v'zakenis ishal mishantoi yelodim v'yelodas misachakim b'Yerushalayim. It's science fiction. It's never going to happen. Being that Yeshayahu Hanovi linked the two Eidim, the nevuas HaChurban by Uriah and the nevuas rebuilding in Nechama of Zechariah, he made them both. Kozma, the first part of the nevuah, the Erste Eid, the first one who's saying the nevuas HaChurban is not miskayim. I thought that Zechariah's nevuah is never going to be miskayim. The achshov that I see that Hartzion Sheshom Shoel Milchu Boy, this is a time to laugh. This is the time to be mesachik. Now that I see, I know that in the future, Daiget Nishachulben, tomorrow is another day. Beloshen ze omru loy Akiva nichamtonu, Akiva nichamtonu. Akiva, you said the word in the studio, you menachem. So the Kashi is a Pelo Otzum, the Marsho, everyone, all the alle Parshonim, alle Maral, the Ben Yoda, everybody asked the Kashi. First of all, Rabi Akiva was also maimin in the nevuah. Rabi Akiva wasn't a fakpik. As soon as he saw the Churban, it says Kol Bigdei. It doesn't say they ripped. They all ripped the clothes. Everybody knows he's a Churban. Now, Zechariah is a Novi. Nevuah of Zechariah is a nevuah. Nevuah is something which has to be miskayim. Milo negodl Rabi Akiva sheyodoresh tilei tilim shel halacha koitz b'Torah that knows kol ma shetalmid vosik osel lechadesh. He knows that a nevuah is a nevuah. Kol zman shel niskayim a nevuah also shel uriah oisim isiorei that nevuah of Zechariah. What does it have to do one with the other? Zechariah never said a nevuah. He said in nevuah, oid yesh v'izkein v'izkein. You want to talk about, well, you want to come down to oilam. You want to say, listen, tomorrow is another day. We'll have a days of nechama. Don't worry about it. So lo yisim isiore. I was afraid he was mefakpeki the amisus of the emunah. Didn't have emunah in the nevuah of Zechariah. Was one of the neviim. Kodesh Baruch Hu sent him to say the nevuahs. Of course, it's going to be miskayim. Nothing to do with the fact if Yisroel is yaitze. It's not yaitze. So they all say pshatim al pi derech hadrush. I'd like to learn pshat over here. Efshel, I'd like to suggest 2 pshatim tonight. And we'll start with a story. The story, the very well-known story that Shmuel Anovi is Metzav Shaul HaMelech to go and conquer Amalek. Leich v'acharamtes achatoim es Amalek. Mi-ish v'ad isha, mi-shoy v'atzeh, mi-oilo v'ad yoinek, go do the job. He goes, he does a half a job. He kills the man, he doesn't kill the animals, he doesn't kill the women, and he doesn't kill Agog. Comes back to Shmuel HaNovi. Shmuel HaNovi says, what did you do? You made a chet. He says, you know what? You lost it. You were Melech Yisroel. This is the case where you lost it. Why did you lose it? Because you didn't listen to Shamata B'Kol Hashem. Comes Shaul, starts crying, and the Psukim state, Vayomer Shaul Shmuel Chotosi ki avarti es pi Hashem, Sona es Chatosi. Please excuse me, I made a mistake. Forgive me. Chotosi avis poshaiti. Vayomer Shmuel al Shaul, Kora Hashem es mamloches Yisroel me'alechu nesono l'reyacho hatoiv mimeko v'gam netzach Yisroel lo yishakev v'lo yechozev ki lo ben odom hu. He tells him, Kora Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu ripped off the mamloches Yisroel me'alecho unesono l'reyach hatoiv mimeko to David HaMelech. You lost it, and to David HaMelech. V'gam netzach Yisroel lo yishakev v'lo yinochem. What does it mean? Zogt Reb Chaim Brisker, Dvorim Yeduim. Everybody heard in Brisk in different formats. High air the word. Look at the Rambam. The Rambam in Hilchis Yesodei HaTorah, Bavus the Rambam. Divrei HaPuronus she'anovi oimer. Kegoin sheyomer pleni yomus oshona pleni Yisroel v'melchom v'kayotze b'dvorim eile. If a Novi comes to say nevuah l'ra, im lo yomdu devorov, if the nevuah is not fulfilled, ein bazeh akchoshel l'nevuosei. It's not a contradiction. Vein oimrim hines diber zev v'loi bo. שהקודש ברוך הוא ערך אפיים ורב חסד וניחם על אורו ואפשר שעושו להם תשובה וניסלחם כאנשי נין או שתו להם כחזקיהו. אבל אם הבטיח על הטויבה ואומר שיהיה כך וכך ולא יבוא הטויבה, שאומר בידוע שהוא נובי שקר, שכל דובר טויבה שיגזר הקהל אפילו על תנאי נחזר. ולא ימוציא שחוזר בדבר תוירה להוכו בלי שיבטיח לצדיקים של ימוס בראשונים וחוזר בדברו. וזה מפורש בסרט שבס. או למדתו שבדברי הטויבה בלבד יבוחן הנובי. Rambam says as follows: Nevuah l'toiva is irretrievable, is non-revocable. It's a non-revocable power of attorney. Because Baruch Hu says this good is going to happen to you, it's never going to be retrieved. Nevuah l'ra could go back. Why? You see, ba'anshe ninve, we read on Yom Kippur daf Torah, ba'yoyna, they made tshuva and the sakim ktanim doilim tefillah, and Kodesh Baruch Hu says it's nechrav, it's not nechrav. So nevuah l'toiva is non-retrievable, nevuah l'toiva is retrievable. So the Rambam, look at the Rambam clinches off. The Rambam says, Hu sho Yirmiyahu omar b'tshuvoso leChananya ben Azur, sho Yirmiyahu misnaba l'ro v'Chananya l'toiva, omar leChananya im lo yamdu dvorai, em b'zerai shani novi sheker. אבל יעל דבריך ידוע שאתה נובי שקר שנאמר אך שמע את הדבר הזה, הנובי אשר ידבר שול מבוא דבר הנובי, יבוד הנובי אשר שולחו לבאמס. He says like this. I want to picture you a story that happened. Yerushalayim, the Altstadt, used to have a market, 2 floors, Shuka Elyon and Shuka Tachton. Yirmiyahu used to walk from east to west in Shuka Tachton. Hananya ben Azu used to walk from west to east in Shuka Elyon. It was quite a long shuk. It was 500 ames. That was the canyon. They walked. Yirmiyahu used to go on the bottom, used to cry and say, Rabbi says, Nebuchadnezzar is going to come, he's going to take you all in Golus, he's going to kill all the Yidden. The ganze Megillah Seiche Yirmiyahu said in Shuka Tachton. Hananya ben Azur goes in Shuka Elyon and says, Rabbi Yisai, the guy, he's hallucinating. It's science fiction, so it came only Zion. I'm telling you, Shvu Ish Tachas Gafno Ish Tachas Tenos. The Gemara says, when Yirmiyahu met Hananya, when he's going from east to west and he's going from west to east, they stop by and say hi. Yirmiyahu tells him, listen, if my nevuah l'ro won't be niskayim, so I'm not a novi sheker, because nevuah l'ro Kodesh Baruch Hu can have charot. It could be everybody will do tshuva. He did it state l'shenim because he wanted people to do tshuva. He said, why is he saying the nevuah? He's not saying some fortune telling. He wanted klal Yisrael to do tshuva. He says, if my nevuah won't be niskayim, there's no raya that I'm a novi sheker. But if your nevuah that you say it's going to have mamesh, it can be sovo, and it be mamesh, should be everybody tachas kafno, tachas te'enosoi, and it's not going to happen, and the evil is going to happen, everybody's going to know it's Yinovi Sheker. Zocht the B'chaim Hazeh. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu ripped the Malchus from Shaul and took it away and gave it, if the Nevuah would have been Korah Hashem es Mamlochas Yisroel Me'alecho, so fine. So Shaul could do tshuva and could come back and say Chotosi Gavati es Pi Hashem, and Nevuah l'Roy is Choyzim. The problem is, while you did the tshuva, Kadosh Baruch Hu decided to say that at that time, I'm taking away the nevuah, the malchus from Shaul, and I'm giving it to David. So beyachas to Shaul, it's nevuah l'ra, but beyachas to David is nevuah l'toiva. So Reb Chaim, Korah Hashem es mamloches Yisroel me'alechu u'nesona l'reach ha'atoiv mimeko, he gave it to David, and klape David is nevuah l'toiva. V'gam netzach Yisroel le'yishakev v'le'yanachem, there is no, you can't go back on it. You lost it. It's final. It's irretrievable. This is Reb Chaim Shtikul Torah Yodua. Reb Chaim says the same thing in Parshas Vayeschanan that we're going to read this coming week. Shteitoch al Tosif daber elai oid badover hazeh Moshe mischanen el Hashem tov tov kuftes vov tfilas. He told him al Tosif daber elai v'tzav Yeshua v'chaskeu v'amtzeu. What's al Tosif? He says if there will be all in the void, you're not going to Eretz Yisrael, you're not going to be the manik, so I can hear the tfilas. But as if it's Yeshua v'chaskeu v'amtzeu, it's a klapi Yeshua does nevuah l'toiva. Nevuah l'toiva, if it's nevuah l'ra for Reuven, and nevuah l'toiva, the very same nevuah to Shimon, being that nevuah l'toiva is non-retrievable, that has an impact on nevuah l'ra, that even though machmasat smusi, it could be choizer, here it cannot be choizer. This is a prime shtickle term, sorry. The nevuah was given to Shaul about David. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't have to be given to him. It's about. Being that he said that the Korah Hashem es menosna l'chocha, there wasn't a sinner. Wherever was the sinner, there was a nevuah. He told Shmuel, I am going to give them the Korah Hashem es malachos u'nesono. Nesono means b'loshen over. When you did the chet, I already gave David. At kan divrei Reb Chaim. Divrei Reb Chaim is not poshut. It's a machlekes hashonim. Just want to tell you, it's nicht as a poshut. The Ramban in Parsha, just as a Maimer HaMuz goes, nicht as a poshut. Ramban steht nicht as a Ramban asks a kasha. Why? I don't have it here in the notes, but I'm just letting you know. Bamei Eida Ki Rasheno. The Ramban says, what is Avraham Avinu asking HaKodesh Baruch Hu for ois? Bamei Eida, he didn't believe him. So the Ramban says, Velochen Eida. Ramban over there in the Parsha V'leil. Lochen Omar Ve'eno Ki Sheilu Ma ois. V'gam HaKodesh Baruch Hu Lo Osa Imo ois, Oim Oifes. Aval Bikesh Avraham, She'yeida Yedia Amitis She'irasheno V'lo Yigo Machet, O Shema Yasu Aknanim Tshuvo, ויקיים בהם רגע הדבר על גוי ועל ממלוכו לינטו ישבליטו אצל העביד ושוב הגוי ומרוע עשוי וניחמתי על הרוע והקודש ברוך הוא כל עשימו בריס שירשן על קופונים. Ramban says before that Avraham Avinu was afraid. He says, you promised me but you have to, in order to do that, you have to kill away all the knainim. Maybe they'll do tshuvas. I need a ice. Tell me, promise me that it's not retrievable. As I state in Ramban. In this Ramban Shteitoch Klor that even though Kodesh Baruch Hu said, I'm going to kill away all the knainim and I'm giving it Lazarach, it's klal Yisrael's nevuah l'toiva, yet if the knainim would have done tshuva, There will be charot, therefore Avram needs a ois, another additional indemnification, some kind of a ois, some kind of a guarantee, in order to prove that Eretz Yisrael is given to Klal Yisrael with no adkas. It's a machlokes in Tshuva Saran, in Drosha Saran steht Klov Reb Chaim, the nevuo l'toiva l'Ruven, and nevuo l'ro l'Shimon. You go after the nevuo l'toiva, and since this nevuo l'toiva becomes irretrievable, and the other Ramban steht nicht. The Reb Chaim goes not keshita Saramban, and that's how he says pshat the psukim. So let's leave that alone, taking a given fact. I'd like to add a shtickle sophistication. What happens when HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes along and says, I'm giving a nevuah l'toiva? But there is a contingency that the only way the nevuah l'toiva will be fulfilled is subject to, prior to the nevuah l'toiva, there would be a nevuah l'ro miskayim. In other words, I'm saying that in a year from now, everybody's going to be rich, subject to, with a very precise and clear contingency, that this year will be a milchama. If there wouldn't be a milchama, there wouldn't be next year the nevuah l'toiva. So here, how do we learn up? Even irrespective of the two shittas and rishayin. So mitzad the nevuah l'ro, mitzad the nevuah l'toiva, it's irretrievable. Shpocha said next year everybody's going to be fine. But being that the nevuah l'toiva had a t'nai in the nevuah, that you have to have the raw being miskayim before the toiva. And the raw has a shulchan aruch, a kitzur shulchan aruch, that says that nevuah l'raw, you can do tshuva and retrieve it. So it comes out, it's something which is not retrievable. But being that the contingency is not met, why? Because the nevuah l'raw is pending, because in nevuah l'raw, in the kitzur shulchan aruch state that the nevuah l'raw is retrievable, because efshei yasa tshuva k'an she'nimvei. So the nevuah l'toiva is always pending for the fulfillment of the t'nai. The nevuah l'toiva cannot be miskayim, even though it cannot be retrieved, but it cannot be miskayim because it was pending and was subject to, was al t'nai, then the nevuah l'ro be miskayim. Tolo akosov, I'm telling you pshat in the Gemara. Tolo akosov nevuoso shel zechariah benevuoso shel Uriah. Is it clear? You know what the word clear means? Clear means pending. Clear means subject to. Clear means they're linked. There is a linkage. There is an interconnection between the two nevuos. Actually, this kaima nevuoso shel tzio in tzoda techoresh v'arabais lebo misyar. Oh, you see misyar not because I'm a fakpak in the amitus ha'emuna from the zechariah and nevuah l'toiva. But the reason why it was mistapek shema le'ziskayim is because since this nevuah l'ro from Shul yoytzei beis Kodesh haKodoshim is such a nevuah which could be retrieved. Why? Because they can do tshuva. And being that this nevuah l'toiva from Yeshvus Keini v'Skeines, Yeshayahu went and put it together as a linkage. Tola HaKosuf, it's nicht meine Werte, the Gemara steht. Tola HaKosuf, nevuoso shel zechariah benevuoso shel Uriah. You see, Misyore, Achshov, in this moment that the nevuah l'ro was fulfilled, in this moment that I see the facts yoytzei mibeis Kodesh haKodoshim, the nevuah l'ro was miskayim, so the contingency is met. Once it's met, I know that the nevuah l'toiva will definitely be miskayim, because nevuah l'toiva cannot be chayzer. Now the t'nai was miskayim. Akiva nichantonu, Akiva nichantonu. Okay, so I think it's saying a pshat. I'm not saying a drush. I'm saying a pshat. But I'd like to go a little bit further. The Gemara, let's just say another pshat. The Gemara, the Zohar Gemara. Look at the Gemara in Brachos, Daf Dal Amud Aleph. Steht in Gemara azay. The Gemara says, Omar Rabbi Yochanan, mipnei ma'aloi ne'emra nun be'ashrei. Why doesn't it say nun be'ashrei? Right. Zog the Gemara, mipnei, you know, ashrei yoshev yisecho, the whole thing is alphabetical. It's missing the ois, malchus chol malchus kol ilomim, nun is deleted, and then somech Hashem l'kol ha'neflim. Why is the letter nun not appearing in Ashrei? As I state in Gemara. Zok the Gemara, מפני שיש בה מפולוסון של ישראל. דכסיב, נופלו לא יוסיף קום בסולס ישראל. This is the nevuos of Omois Hanovi. Omois says, Noflo, Nun is Noflo lo yosif kum besulas Yisroel. You don't want to talk about the mapol of klal Yisroel. Therefore, David HaMelech skipped the nevuah of the Ois Nun, the pasuk which has to be the nevuah of Ois Nun. So the Gemara Omer Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak afilu ochi chozar David v'somcho beruach haKodesh shene'emar soymech l'chol ha'neflim. Even though there's Noflo, the next pasuk in Ashrei soymech Hashem l'kol ha'neflim, David was chayzer, he gave, he let him be soymech Hashem l'kol ha'neflim. B'ma'arova metartze lo hochi. Das ist Teire von Chutzlaritz, von Bavel. In Eretz Yisrael, mit Eretz Yisrael dike Teretz. What is there Eretz Yisrael dike Teretz? Steht Hochi. Nofol loy Tosif Li'npol oid kum besulas Yisrael. Look how he reads the pasuk. Noflo loy Tosif. What does it mean loy Tosif? Normally you learn Noflo loy Tosif. Loy Tosif Li'npol oid. Stop falling. The rolling down the cliff will terminate. Kum besulas Yisrael. The kasha is, look at the psukim in Omois. I mean, look at the psukim. This is not saying yoytzim edei pshute. It's nicht azay. Shimu es hadover hazeh asher anoichi. Look at the pasuk. Asher anoichi noisi alechem kino beis Yisrael. Noflo lo yisosiv kum besulas Yisrael. Not shoal admoso. Ein mekima, ki koyamar Hashem, o ira yoytzes elef tashir mea, va yoytzes mea tashir asol lebeis Yisrael. All the psukim here are psukim of Churban. Noflo yosiv kum. Kum tarayim de gemor b'ma'arove, somebody said avod, psachsidish avertel. Noflo Tosif Li'npol oid, kum besulas Yisrael. It doesn't shtim in the psukim. You look at the psukim are talking about directly about the Churban. Vos tutzach. Idoav merkav dike goyen. I brought the Goyen down. There's a sefer called Imre Noyam Ambrochis, which is the Goyen's Pirush Ambrochis. The sefer called, printed up a sefer, Imre Noyam. Talmidei Agro, they learned by the Goyen, they heard Shurim Ambrochis, and they put it down in the sefer. The sefer is called Imre Noyam. Look at the Loshen, Tiretz Rabbeinu. The Goyen asked the Kasha, how could you say, Noflo Tosif Li'npol? Listen to this. The Tarte Mashma Klolo Brocho. V'ochi perusha, noflo v'lo Tosif Li'npol oid, shetei nefila g'dola kol kach, she'i efshel Li'npol oid, she'iyu b'dyuta atachtoine, az a siba lekum besulas Yisroel. So be as such a nefila that they come to dyuta atachtoine, they can't fall, no further decline. They hit rock bottom. V'zeu she'omer, look at the Goyen brings down the Gemara Chagigah Daf Yudaled, Yudches klolis kilo yishayis yisov niskar adoit at she'omar hira v'u'anar bezokein shu aklolo akoshe mikulim v'koshe zog de goyen v'chi yishayo yoseine liYisroel lo niskar adoitoi get 18 klolis lo niskar adoitoi came to the epitome of kloli yira v'anar yeda shmekel yeda ingel b'chutz pen yak v'azokein. That's the epitome of kloli. For the goyen Yishaya Novi, that's what he's looking for. He's a soil of Yisrael. Zog the Goyen, look at the lotion of the Goyen. Aval mashe kosavti asi shapir. The mikoidim liskar rodaitoi. The loitzofo adayin liyishua kol zman shechol liyo lefilu yoisek doilo. The kiven she'omar ira vunar bezokein as sofo liyishua shehi shechoilo calls man shechol liyo lefilu doilo. The kiven she'omar ira vunar liyo sofo liyishua shehi yuta tachtoi. The Goyen says as follows. When there is a decline, when there is a nefila, as long as the nefila did not hit rock bottom, you see, you look at the Churban, it's possible there'll be a lower level, and a lower level, and a lower level. But noflo le'taisiv, when the nefila is coming into that madrege of that from here on is upwards only, as the English people say. From here on, there is no anymore further to go down. You have hit rock bottom. This is the Geula. This is the Nechama. It's not Yeshayahu is not Mekalo. When the Gemara says Noflo Lo Tosif Li'npol oid, not as in the chomo. In other words, he's talking about the klal. He's talking about the matzav of shefel, boyer tachtiyas, lo shebelo. Lo Tosif Li'npol oid, there's no further place to decline. You have hikrak barem, kul besulas Yisroel. From where the trend is upwards only. Atkan divrei hagoyim. Shteitach in goyen, nimtzeinu lemeidim divrei hagoyim. It's a lesson for life. When you keep on declining, when you keep on falling, when you keep on deteriorating, going from madrega to madrega, so long that you didn't hit the yuta tachtoino, there is no place. There's no place, because tomorrow you can be another fall. Where is the tchilas hageula? Where do you see that the bottom, the pit, is hit the bottom? When you start coming to Yuta Tachtoinu, to Sheol Tachtiyos, to Boyer Tachtis, then the trend going up. This is the Mokim where the Nechama, where the Yeshua comes. I would like to suggest maybe Pshat and Rabi Akiva. Besides al derech pshute that we said about the nevuos. But Ad Shaloi Niskaimo, Yirmiyahu Hanavi keeps on saying all kind of nevuos zam. The whole Megillah Seicho is one grace lange Megillah of nevuos zam of the Churban. Such terutzim, such descriptions, such fascinating. You read the Megillah, you sit down Leil Tisha B'Av, you read the Megillah Seicho, you see the graphics of the Churban, you see how far you can go down. But kol zman you don't come to the clinch of the Megillah Seicho. Al zeh hoyo dover libeinu al eile choshcho eneinu al hatziyah sheshamim shuolim ilchu boy. You know what? These Perek Aleph, these Perek Beis, these Perek Gimel in Eicho. You go weiter and weiter. Steht in Medrash Eicho and Psicho, kol ha-Megillah azoi is moisi v'hoilach. It's a Churban which is moisi v'hoilach till you, before you say Chadesh Yomeinu Kekedem, the last pasuk is al hatziyah sheshamim shuolim ilchu boy. Rabi Akiva says, you know why I'm laughing? You know why I see tomorrow, the brighter tomorrow, I see the silver lining which is coating this black cloud? Is because I'm seeing the Al Tziyah Sheshomem Shuolim Ilchuboy. Nofel Tosif Li'npol oid. Kum besulas Yisroel. Then tomorrow there is Yisachaku Neorim V'Neoris, Yelodim V'Yelodos, V'Ishal Mishante V'Ishal Makli. Where you see Shuolim, where you see the Churban, I see the rock bottom. I see that we came to Boyer Tachtiyas. I see that from here is Kum Besulas Yisroel. I see tomorrow the Shmei. Just like to suggest. I'd like to add on something. You know, there's a fascinating story we read on the night of Pesach. What do we read in the night of Pesach? Before we read on the night of Pesach, I'd like to read with you a Medrash Eicha. Hisbiani bar meroirim hirvani la'ano. Steht in Medrash. Hisbiani bar meroirim ze yontov rishon she Pesach. Dichsiv boy al matzos meroirim. Hirvani la'ano. Mashi hisbiani beleil yontov rishon shel Pesach. Hirvani beleil Tisha B'Av la'ano. Harei leil yontov rishon shel Pesach u leil Tisha B'Av. You know, Zok the Beis Halevi comes along and says, the Leil, look at the reference number, the Leil Tisha of Lo'il M'chal B'Leil Shechal Pesach. I know we spoke about it once here already. There is At Bash Gardak, goes the Yom Tovim. At, the first night of Pesach will always be the night of Tisha B'Av. Whatever Pesach was this year, Tisha B'Av, the first night of Pesach is the night of Tisha B'Av. You want to At Bash, the second night, Shavuos, Gar, the third night is Rosh Hashanah, and so on and so forth. They state in Tur, state in Abudram. This is what Chazal say. This is Simon Lamoyades. Zog the Goyen, Zog the Beis Halevi. Irvani lanu b'leil l'leil Tisha B'Av l'leil m'chal b'lai shechal b'ilchu koshe. Ein shum nafkimini b'ashnei leilos cholim b'lai lo'echod b'ei b'al koch mechavonus Chazal da ashnei leilos tluim m'kushorim echod b'chazeh ואיכות גרם לחברו, וזהו כמו שכסבנו על ידי שיוצאו של איש למה גולוב, הוכחו לי עוד פעם שני בגולוב, ונמצא דליל פסח גורם לא תשבו. I don't have the time because I would like to say over another word. I don't know what Rabbi Salevi is saying one thing, that whatever is biani b'meroirim, you need to add the answer. The fact that we released out of Mitzrayim early, we're paying the bill in the Golos Mitzrayim. in the Golus from the Chuban Abayis. Isbiani b'meroirim b'leil Pesach irvani la'ano in leil Tisha B'Av. If you take together with you the sheet, you'll see the whole vort and length of the Beis HaLevi, why they're interconnected one with the other. But, you know, in the Haggadah of Pesach, we say, Maise, Rabi Loza ben Azariah, Rabi Loza, Rabi Akiva, Rabi Taf, Rabi Akiva, Shoy Misubim, Bnei Brak, Voy Misap Mitzias Mitzrayim Koloi Salai, La'at Shabbat Talmidem, Ve'omer Migia, Rabbi Seini Gias Man Krish Shachis. Every one of the Rishonim asked Kashe, L'chure, Rabi Akiva Kiven HaTalmid. Rabi Loza, the Gemara Zoktoch, Oimer Rabi Loza, Meshabeach Ani Es Atzlonim Beregel, Sheyoshvim Bebeisam, they don't live. Rabi Loza used to live in Lud, or maybe in that Kufa, he lived in Pekin. He moved, he had 2 locations, stayed in Shas. What is he doing by Rabi Akiva? Why are they coming to Rabi Akiva to celebrate the Leil Pesach in Rabi Akiva in Bnei Brak? What are they doing there? You know, so they're showing Shiboel Aleket as a Kashe, Mahalach. What are they doing? What are they going to? He's a Sefer, Mongolius Ayom, for Proven Mongolius. He was a great Neilam. He's always thinking out of the box. And he's very fascinating. So he's saying, I didn't have the time to write it, but let me read you what his suggestion is. He's saying that ובביאור להגודה של פסח הבאסי ממשנה פרקי דמייסר שני, מייסר ברמלי ועסקני שבואים בספינה ערב פסח, יום הביר של המייסרס, איתוכן שאולו היה בושו דרך נמל יפו, שהוא מול בני ברק, מבוא בישוע, פרק יוטס, we just learned it 2 weeks ago, ולא יוכלו להספיק לבוא בעוד יום למקומיסם ומנויסם. לכן הסיבו כדי לעדור יחד אחד מבני החבור שבו עמהם, וזהו בקירוב מוקל מעל יפו, רבי עקיבא בבני ברק. רבי גמליאל לא הסב עמהם כדי שיוכלו גם הם להסב, ולא עמהם לרשם לעושי בפני הנוסי, ויושו יחד כל שאר הזקנים שבו אומר רבי אלעזר בן עזריה ריש מסיפתא באמצע, ומצד אחר זקני הדור רבי אלעזר ורבי שוב, מצד השני רבי עקיבא ורבי טרפון. He says he wants to suggest that this story, they came back from Rome, state the Sefta, they came back on Erev Pesach. So they're disembarking the Sfina on Erev Pesach noch Mittag. They're going straight off the boat. They don't have where to go, they can't go home. So what do? In the Mal Yafo, steht in Yeshua, Yafo was right next to Bnei Brak. The ancient Jaffa and Bnei Brak are adjacent to each other. There was no Chabad house in Yafo at the time. So the first Chabad house was Rabi Akiva's house in Bnei Brak. So his suggestion is a fascinating idea. They're going to Rabi Akiva to Bnei Brak because the story happened. State the Sefta, he found at the Sefta that they came back from Rome in the afternoon, Erev Pesach, Shalosh Mamish, Indim Dumei Chamali, some Shagirs and Michas Bekurim. They came Mamish Far Zman. Nishgatkin Zeit, Rabi Akiva left Bnei Brak, they came to him. I would like to suggest as follows. Isbiani b'meroirim irvani la'ano. Those 2 nights are interconnected. Not getting involved what the shaykhs. But the Maise Tisha B'Av is the Nacht from Pesach. Whatever deficit we have in the lack of being in Golus Mitzrayim for the full course of Abraham Shoda, we're paying with compounded daily interest on Golus for Nichub and Yerushalayim. Where is the place to go and celebrate the Leil Pesach? The more the Shmeitze of Oyisi Misyore, the more the Shmeitze that can bring the Shmeichel to the Churban, they are all coming. This is exactly this story. That's, I don't have time, but if we were taking your suggestion, Moshe Levi, we would speak about it. This is Mamish, the year of the Churban. The place, this is 2 years after the Churban. They're coming back from Rome, Mamish, right after the Churban. This story from the Rabi Akiva and the Chachamim. The place to be, the place to learn up a Churban, the place to take a chizuk from the lack, from what we're sitting right now without a Beis HaMikdash, is Rabi Akiva. Where they see Churban, Rabi Akiva sees Geula. Where they see Shual Yoitze, Rabi Akiva is Akiva Nichamtona, Akiva Nichamtona. Therefore, the place to be on the night of Pesach is Rabi Akiva.